again. Thanks again for your help. How's...
Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. Many of you may have heard it already.
No, I just put them out for you to look at. Tell me what you need, and be quick about it.
Anything for friends of path-abiding magic.
Uh-huh. Information? What do you mean? Let me see. That's not very much, but fine. A couple of moons ago, I had a really strange guy as a customer. He wore 2 sabers, like those coal people do, but when he moved, he was really swift about it, like he was some kind of thief. I think he was an assassin, as they call them. Quiranian contract killers. You can hide within a fortress, but they'll find you. Somehow break into your room and kill you in your sleep. And unlike those everyday scroungers, they know how to wield a sword, like Lorem Waterblade did. Who knows? Maybe that'll help you. Walk blessed.
Let us pray for Saldrin.
Wait for my shipment.
Huh. You're aren't you? Impressive bow you have there. I hope you know how to shoot
blessed,
it.
my son.
Yes? Well, maybe I do. But why don't you ask one of your 1,000 wives, Coleman? I have nothing to say to you.
Why are you asking?
Now shove off.
Oh, just because. One day, I'm gonna be an adventurer.
Well,
And
look who's
I'm gonna
arrived.
explore the
Did you have any
entire
problems
world.
finding your way around? This city can be quite a maze if you don't know it.
Yes, of course.
Right, you're from Ostian. I almost forgot. They're quite fascinating, these places, aren't they? You can climb high, and you can fall just as deep. And every place vibrates with life. Here, put this on. And before you ask, yes, it's necessary. Just trust me.
Hey, you're an adventurer, aren't you? I bet you've got a lot of stories to tell.
That's it. And why is it Malphas who carries the Sun Temple on his back? Isn't that a gesture of...
So, about this fever. Usually those gifted with magic have to report their talent to the Order, and then it teaches them how to deal with their magic. Water is what they call it. Once they've passed that, the fever reduces to an endurable level, and new arcanists have their names registered in some kind of holy book. But there are other ways to... And I hope my employer can tell you about them. Okay, almost there.
Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor, in life as in death.
Hold it, my sir. No civilians beyond this point without explicit permission. Who are you, and what leads you to this holy place?
Business. I'm Jespara, and I work for the Naramese mages.
Oh, right. The mercenary. And who's your companion?
Marijo de Luna from Ostian, esteemed holder of de Luna's Empire of Tender Fragrance, the most prestigious perfumery in all of Vin. Archmagister Marigil sent for him. Didn't he tell you?
The Archmagister. Well, that does sound like him. Fair enough, you may pass. But show this place the respect it deserves, mercenary. You too, Meister de Luna.
You have my word, fair lady. Thank you. Well, that went better than expected. Hey, it worked, didn't it? That's all that matters. Nobody will suspect someone who's already in the temple. Anyway, I think it's about time I tell you a little bit more about this employer of mine. His name is Constantine Firespark, and he's one of Narathzal Orenthiel's former followers, which the new Grand Master, Tealor Orenthiel, brought here by ship about 2 years ago. That means he's one of the former arch-enemies of the Order.
So he knows what he's doing.
They usually wear green, while the Order wears white or red. That should make it easy for you to tell them apart. Firespark's pretty much the eldest of Narathzal's mages, and quite well versed in magic, at least from what I've heard. Plus, he's a very gentle and likable fellow, which is why even the Keepers like having him around. Let's hope he can tell us a thing or two about these visions, and help you get rid of the fever. Come, follow me.
Look.
Ahoy.
Is this supposed to lead?
Blazes, I just can't bloody believe.
All right, here we are.
No. That's not how you do it.
Blast it! I'm just being careful. We
Like
have to.
heck we do. Give me that thing, now.
Unreliable.
All of them. Blasted, blistering blazes. That's what you get for working with fumblers. I told you, we
Like the
should
fire
be
spark.
careful. What? Now, who the heck are you?
Blazes, I
Can't an
just
old
can't
man
bloody
have
believe
a
it.
moment to himself.
You hired me. The Magister, don't you remember?
Oh, right. Joseph the Scrounger. So, why are you here? Had any luck?
Jespar. And yeah, we did find something.
Suggest you first of all tell me when I allowed you to drag your drinking mates up here. Do you need me to explain the meaning of the words highly and confidential to you?
I'm sure there's a lot you can explain to me, but let's save that for later. This particular fellow over here needs your help, to be frank. Arcane fever.
Is that so? And what exactly has that got to do with me? Let the Keepers and their holy rituals take care of it. What is it with the costume, anyway?
This man's magic is different, Meiser. Just feel his aura and you'll see it. Plus, he's from Nerem, just as you are.
Well, all right then, for nostalgia's sake. I really hope you're not wasting my time, though. Working with these religious buffoons is bound to make any rational thinking person go bonkers. Anyway, that chair over there. Take a seat, and I'll have a look at that fever of yours. All right then, this will tickle a little. Yeah, you're right. This aura does feel different. Complex somehow and powerful. And do you really want to tell me you've only recently discovered that talent of yours? With that aura, I'm surprised that you haven't turned into an Obaya by now. Fine. That will help you. But first, tell me everything. How you got that magic, and how you met that scrounger.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
I see. Regarding this vision thing, I think that your mind simply played a trick on you there. Not that it's much of a surprise, considering what you've been through. Actually, you were quite lucky that the sudden outburst of your glance didn't blow your head right off. By all that's holy, I won't start playing your tutor now. If you don't know about the basic functioning of magic, then read something from Ballador Goldenstein.
The glance on the sea of eventualities. Alongside, but apart from the reality we're in right now, exist countless other realities, in which some events have different outcomes, so to speak. A version of this very same room, for example, with the very same people in it, only that Meiser Firespark's beard is on fire. And what defines an Arcanist, someone capable of magic, is that he or she can see those other realities and let parts of them come true.
Well, look at that, Jasper. You surprised me.
That's what I'm being paid for.
How powerful an Arcanist is depends on 3 factors. How far away are the eventualities that he can see, how well he can bring parts of them into our reality, and finally, how well his mind can handle seeing other realities simultaneously with ours. Lighting a candle is easier than calling a meteor from the sky, to speak plain inal, but as I said, read Goldenstein if you're interested in the topic. I'm not going to waste any time with lectures. Well, if that's what you want to believe, go for it. I, in any case, have never come across such a phenomenon in over 50 years of studying magic. And now we should...
It all begins with the dreams.
What the... blasted, blistering blazes! Does this room look like the bosom of a whore to you? Or what makes you think you can go around touching anything you get your fingers on? These documents are confidential, for heck's sake. I knew it was a mistake to hire a thug like you. Lashery always had a weakness for...
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember you telling me something about dreams that led you and Tealor Renthiel here, didn't you, Miser? And you told me that in this vision of yours, the Veiled Woman said this. It all begins with the dreams.
What? Is that true? Oh. Then this near-death experience you had before you woke up on the shore. Tell me again, what exactly did you see in it? A room?
Where is this supposed to lead?
Well, this is strange indeed. Anyway, for now all that matters is that we get that magic of yours under control. Whatever you clairvoyanced back there is of no use to us if you're dead as a doornail in a couple of months. Well, that's usually a plodding process. The fever you feel is a result of your mind not being able to handle all of these possibilities, so to speak. The ritual the Enderalians practice to get the glance under control is called the Journey to the Water. Put frankly, it means 1 year of hour-long meditation, bland food, and abstinence from anything that makes life worth living. In due time, the Arcanist then learns to filter these other realities from ours, and the fever gets less and less. Anyhow, luckily enough, we Neremes know of a way to quicken that process. A shortcut, if you will. I'm not capable of performing it, but another one of us is. Her name is Lashery, and you should seek her out as soon as possible. There is indeed, and this reason is called ignorance. The Order's rituals haven't changed since the Lightborn slipped out of their cradles, and the Keepers do their best to keep anything progressive out of their country. But please, if you're up for a year of austerity and stern-faced magisters scolding you, go for it. I really don't care. She's currently in a ruin called Old Rashengrad, not far from Ark. Just tell her that I sent you. Give me that map of yours. Okay, now you'd have to be a total idiot to miss it. I recommend leaving for the ruin straight away. And you, Joseph, you're going to come with me and show me what your trip to the Sun Coast brought forth. Hopefully, more than a bottle of honey wine and a hangover.
Quite a character, isn't he? But I like him somehow. Here, I owe you this for your help back in Riverville. And in case you're in the mood for a mug of ale and a good chat, just drop by the Dancing Nomad in the Stranger's Quarter. I'll get myself a room there for the time being. With all that said, good luck mastering your magic, my friend. I'll see you around.
Yes, it makes sense.
Huh? Now a good pipe. Never walk back on the road from the aged man's abode. Ugh, blazes. Sorry. I know, I can't sing.
Walk blessed? Oh, yes. Guess what? There is. Some people just don't get the meaning of the word reliability. Huh. You're not from the Order, are you? Then I wonder what the blazes you're doing here. But fine. Who am I to reject a helping hand? Elia, the novice who was assigned to me, she's supposed to help me transcribe these Pyrian tomes the Grand Master is so obsessed about. But 2 days ago, she simply vanished. If I were to guess, I'd say she's strolling around enjoying herself somewhere in the nobles' quarter. I'd go look myself, but I'm lucky if I get to breathe within all this work. Go find her and tell her to get her bloody ass up here and help me. If you do that, it won't be to your disadvantage.
Pathless, wherever you look, where is this supposed to lead?
Midnight. Between cobblestone and excretion. Between darkness and light. Advance the fleet! Always forward! Always forward! Forward for the glory and honor!
So many strange faces. Well,
Advance the fleet! Always forward! Always forward! But for the glory and honor! The spears at the ready, drive
Walk blessed.
into the bodies. The same play. Day.
walk blessed.
Huh?
My sir.
Keep walking.
Wild mages in the temple? Grand master around here is as unusual as his reputation suggests, it seems.
Good for him. No, I'm perfectly fine. This is a grave, and I'm kneeling in front of it. I couldn't be better. I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. My sister, Gadia, I don't know if you've heard about it, but there was this incident in the temple. The Red Madness. And you've heard about it. My sister, she was a novice, just as I am. And she... You know, she met this boy. He was only of the manufacturer's path, and neither our parents nor the Holy Order would have approved. She wanted to leave the city with him. Travel the lands. Just like in the Bard songs. I called her a fool. I told her that it was our path to serve the Order, and that leaving here would be a sin. 3 days later it happened. She sat in the first row in Europe. You know. You say it as if it were far-fetched. But it is my fault. Without me, she would be with that boy in Duneville, building a new life. It is my fault she was in the lecture that day. No matter how I twist and turn it. This is how it is. Maybe. Maybe not. Anyway, I should go back to the temple. Thank you for your words. Walk blessed.
Walk blessed, my child. How may I help you?
Some people just don't know their place in the world.
What are you doing in this part of the city? Shouldn't you be, I don't know, somewhere else?
Monsieur?
Tender friends of the granulous pleasance?
What?
Away in rapture as a crunchy loaf of bread wanders from my
What?
head into yours.
Wait a moment. You're an outlander, aren't you? Only if you know what to look for. I'm one myself, so I do. Balhazel, pleased to make your acquaintance. Tell me, if you're new in this city, are you perchance also looking for work? Excuse me, what was I saying? I'm looking for a hand. Well, neither do you. But to answer your question, I'm Orizalian, but third generation Orizalian, so it doesn't show that much anymore. Apart from my name and my skin, there's little left of my roots, I'm afraid. Anyway, so what did you say? Interested in some well-paid, honest work? It's simple. I want you to find something for me. You know, I'm a healer, just like my father was, and my grandfather before that. When he came to this country, he did so because he had been hired by an Arca noblewoman, a bright lady who valued science and the arts of healing. In any case, my grandfather spent a large portion of life working for this lady in an old, abandoned fort near the now deserted village of Fogville. Together with a good dozen other apothecary, he planned for my father to succeed him. But before he had the chance to, the mushroom plague occurred. Yes, that one. The spores of those mushrooms have literally sucked all the life from the forest and its surroundings. Plus, they are a threat to everyone who comes close. It does seem likely, doesn't it? Both my father and I have asked my grandfather this question too, but he has always denied it. The plague was a magical phenomenon, a freak of nature, no more, no less. Those were his words. However, I've made some troubling discoveries which have led me to doubt that. I believe the plague might have been fabricated. Well, this is exactly what I want you to find out. Unfortunately, the noblewoman who my grandfather worked for has long been dead, and she was the last in their bloodline, so I couldn't find any answers there. But the old fortress where they worked still stands. Go there and look for answers. If my grandfather had something to do with this, I want to know. Isn't that obvious? Because I want to understand. You know, we Arzalians believe in the debt of blood. If my grandfather committed a crime, it is my responsibility to atone for it. Plus, I believe that if there was a way to, well, to cure that plague, it is hidden within that fortress. Whatever harm the mushrooms can do, they can also reverse it. My father never cared much about all this, but I'm different. If there's one thing I want to achieve in my life, then it's clarity. Look at me, you'll have the answer. I'm old and far from made for the road to begin with. Furthermore, all those undead who've been roaming the wilderness since that red madness began don't exactly make the idea more inviting. But don't worry, if you succeed, I'll make it worth your while. Reports, scrolls, samples of their work, anything that could be of relevance. Just look around. Do you have a map? Here, the fortress should be in this area. Best you take a Myra to Fogville. In the village harbor, there was a hut where my grandfather lived when he was off duty. Chances are you'll find a key to the fortress there. Good luck, and thank you. If you have found the material, you can find me in the Undercity, near the old waterworks. My laboratory is there. Yeah, you should go into the Whisperwood and see what you can find in the old fortress. I'll wait for you in the Undercity, in my laboratory.
Huh? What, you mean the living dead, the Watirs everywhere, the frenzied civilians? I'd say this country's seen better times. But at least something happens. It makes this place less boring.
Mead, stew, roast pork. Anyone?
Yes, you should go into the Whisperwood and see what you can find in the
Malphas's blessings. Come back anytime.
Huh?